There's a tsunami sweeping the world of work.
So while we were sleeping, work moved from the cube to the cloud. So what is the new world of work?
It's virtual, it's global.
And it knows no boundaries.
So how did this happen?
Because of three powerful trends.
Work has been fractionalized.
Careers have been virtualized.
Talent has been globalized.
You must understand next generation work.
You must compete for virtual talent.
You can capitalize on new world careers. 30 million Americans are out of work or underemployed.
They are asking where the jobs are.
The better question is, where did the work go?
It went into the cloud.
Where there are no boundaries.
Like it or not.
We are competing for jobs globally.
Not because of outsourcing.
But because of crowdsourcing. We saw the benefits of the change.
Rather than the change itself.
Tim saw an industry.
Before the industry even existed, Terri saw the trends.
And together, we created a movement.
You cannot afford to miss this.
Your career depends on it.
Your business will not survive without it.
In the new world of work, there are no boundaries.
So, where did the jobs go?
Into the cloud.
What is tomorrow's career?
The virtualpreneur. It's the best of both worlds, being virtual and having the freedom of being an entrepreneur.
Now, it's no buildings, no fear. Those who embrace the new world of work will thrive.
And those that don't will become extinct. If you want to compete in the new world of work,
where there are no boundaries,
you must get this book. Years ago, I had sold my company and I'd gone to work for one of my customers, and I found out I wasn't employable and not really good employee, so they let me go figure. And so now I'm unemployed and I'm looking at this research, and I've decided that I'm never going to go to work for anyone again. And I want to have a business, and I wanted to understand what was happening. And so my grandfather taught me an incredible lesson, and the lesson was that questions are more important than answers. This is actually the last picture that I had taken with him. He passed away about 2 months later, and when this picture was taken, I knew that he was terminally ill and that I probably wouldn't get to see him again. I was 26 at the time, and my grandfather was everything to me, and as I sat on the couch, I wanted to know the answer. Grandpa, what's the secret to life? Grandpa, how can I be successful? And he looked me in the eye with these steel eyes and he said, Terri, the questions are more important than the answer. So in 2009, as I'm unemployed and I'm thinking about starting a business, we all know there were 8 million jobs that were obliterated in about 6 months. But I kept asking this one question: where did the work go? Not the jobs. Where did the work go? If 8 million people had their lives disrupted and they lost their job, where did their work go? About 6 months later, I'm looking at the research, and Tim and I have been really good friends for over a decade, and I knew he had this company called Working Solutions that had pioneered the virtual agent business. So I called him up and I said, we got to have lunch. And I said, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And he said, absolutely, it's finally here. Because I saw it 10 years ago, and then this thing called offshoring happened, and all the jobs went overseas. But now they've come back. But they didn't come back into corporations. They came back in the cloud. And what I want to talk about tonight is where the work went. What does it mean? There's 3 trends. Number 1, work has been fractionalized. What that means is work has been broken down into little tiny pieces. Project management this, administrative assistant this, piece of coding here, I need a writer there. And rather than hiring a full-time employee, I can now hire someone for 10 hours a week. But they're not sitting in my Texas Instruments headquarters. Where are they? They're in the cloud. Because careers are now virtual. 58% of all jobs that will be created in the next 5 years will be virtual. They will not be physically located in a company. And 2 years ago, when these two trends started coming together for me, I said, Tim, we got to figure out how to get this story told. And we started working together. It was actually about 18 months ago. And then the big trend really hit me. Talent has now been globalized. So of those jobs that are being created that can go into the cloud, there's no boundaries. They can go anywhere. Now think about that for a second. So let's say that I have a business and I need to hire someone to write some marketing material. I post my job into the cloud. Do I really care where they are physically located? I don't. What I care about is the quality of their work. And that dynamic, what we call no boundaries, has created next generation work. And the power of this trend combines, to me, the essence of success. What that means is technology, cloud technology, has changed the way we work. I don't know about you, but I remember the days when I could work from home because I had internet. I had DSL and cable, and I could work from home. I love to work from home. Love it. Well, technology has made that simple today, but work and the way of work has changed people. The real power of the new world of work is not the technology. It's not the cost savings. It's the entrepreneurial spirit of the people that is actually changing the way business is done. If Texas Instruments has 1,000 jobs that they could post, 900 of them will go into the cloud because the workers will compete for the work in the cloud, as opposed to being physically located at their headquarters. People are changing the way business is done. Now think about that. Let's say that your target and your call center is absolutely critical to your success. Do you want to have somebody who just is there for the job, or do you want somebody who's competing for that work? If they're competing for that work, they're going to take care of your customers. That is next generation work. And what it means is there's now a war for talent, unlike anything we have ever seen. So all of this stuff that you're hearing about no jobs is not true. The jobs are there, the work is there, it's just not in the same configuration. It's now in little tiny projects that have been exported into the cloud where workers anywhere in the entire world can pick up that work. I'm going to give you some examples, and Tim's going to give you some examples of where this work actually is. This is the mind-blowing statistics that we've been collecting over the last year. So, okay, let's break it down. Well, who's hiring these virtual workers? This is a combination of two different companies. 67% of the work is coming from companies in the United States. 60% of the virtual work is coming from companies in the United States. However, only 9% of the workers who are doing that work are in the United States. Now that's a sobering statistic. I want that to sink in. 67% of the companies hiring virtual workers are in the United States. Only 9% of the workers that are doing that work are in the United States. So you might be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, it's cheaper to go overseas. I hear that all the time. Not true. The real reason why the work is in the cloud is because there's no more boundaries to work. To hire someone today, they don't need to be located within 50 miles of my corporate headquarters. I just need to put it into the cloud. Now, how many of you have used tools like Yelp. When you're in a place you don't know and you want to know what the restaurant is. Anybody use Yelp? Okay. Well, these new virtual work platforms are like Yelp for work. I need somebody that's got project management skills, post my job, 10 people apply. They have scores based on their performance of the people who have done the work. So I don't pick based on this person costing me $8 an hour or that person costing me $20 an hour. I pick based on the level of quality that I want. Now imagine if you were going to 10 interviews next week and you had a little sign that you wore that you were scored by all of the people you had worked for in the past. Game changing, changing the way business is done. So when I talk to people in this country, unlike when I talk to people in other countries, here's what they say. How could that be happening? Over $1 billion in virtual work was done in the last 12 months. This year it's projected to be $4 billion, a 4x growth. And people say, I don't even know that work exists. I've never heard of Elance or Odesk or Working Solutions. I've never heard of that. Working Solutions has been around for 16 years. The other thing that I hear is it's about wages. It's cheaper to hire people in Pakistan. That is not why the work is moving into the cloud. It's moving into the cloud because the people who want that work are competing for it. They're not just showing up. The third thing that I hear when people find out about the new world of work is I'm not prepared to compete. I don't have the technical skills. I don't know how to operate in that capacity. And we're not talking about a few jobs, 58%. This is McKinsey talking, this isn't Terri Maxwell. 58% of the jobs that will be created will be virtual contract jobs in the next 5 years. So everything has changed, and we're only seeing the beginning of it. Career strategies have to be completely rethought. Talent strategies, if you're an executive in a company, you have to completely rethink the way you compete for talent. So here's 3 companies you need to know. Odesk. If you want to compete for virtual work, great place to go. Elance is probably my favorite. They have the majority of their workers are writers, marketers, project managers, program managers, product marketing specialists. Most of the people that are hiring globally are actually trying to hire marketers from the United States, but they're not calling you up and shipping you over to their country. They're putting the job on Elance so that you can do it in the cloud. If you're a marketer, Elance is the place to get work. And last, of course, is Working Solutions, one of my all-time favorite companies. You'll hear more about them in a bit. They actually saw this trend before it even existed. Tim saw the industry before it was even an industry. Together, Working Solutions and Succeed on Purpose are piloting and launching something called Virtualpreneur University. It will be an accredited 5-course program to teach people how to capitalize on this new world of work. It will launch in December. We're really excited about it. We're really excited about the book. This new world of work, for me, as somebody who loves to compete, is the coolest thing that has ever happened. Because now I get paid based on the quality and the performance of my work, not showing up. So, for those of you that have to rethink your career strategies, if you've been caught between the old world of work and the new world of work, here's the advice that I have for you. You must learn to compete for work. You will not get paid to show up. It is too efficient for me as a small business or me as a large business to post my work into the cloud and to pick the 5 best workers to perform it. So you've got to learn how to compete. The really cool thing is companies have to rethink their talent strategy. And the even cooler thing, is the best companies now have to compete to get the best workers. So if you follow Odesk or Elance or Working Solutions, what you'll find is companies are now competing to have that best virtual talent. 197% increase in 1 year in income for workers on these virtual platforms. 197% increase in their compensation in 1 year because they competed for work and the best companies competed for them. This is the biggest movement we've ever seen. 100 years ago, work moved from the farm to the factory, and everything that we knew changed. Today, work has moved from the cube to the cloud. There will not be the jobs that we were used to seeing in corporate America. They're gone and they're not coming back. The really cool thing, though, is how the work came back is better than we ever could have imagined if we can rethink the world of work. That's the whole essence of the book. It's the whole essence of what I'm about, is trying to get the message out. This wonderful world of work exists. You get to work from home. You get to pick the projects you want to work on. In many cases, you get to choose your compensation. You don't have the politics. You don't have all of the baggage of the corporation pulling you down. You have total freedom to create your own way. As I transition to my partner in this book and somebody that I absolutely enjoy working with, I want to leave you with a really simple thought. I'm hoping that tonight, as we begin the launch of this book, we're beginning to open your eyes to the fact somebody didn't just move the cheese. They moved the grocery store, the restaurant, the farmer's market. The entire world has shifted. And this is the opportunity for you and those of you that are listening online to completely reinvent your career, but do it virtually. As I introduce Tim Holney, he's the CEO of Working Solutions. We've been combatants and best friends now for 10 years. We went to the University of Texas at Dallas together, and our classmates are quite amazed that not only do we work together, but we're actually writing a book together. Our first year of our MBA program, we literally almost killed each other. And then the second year, we really began to respect each other. And I've watched him and Kim grow Working Solutions from an idea into an entire new way of working. Tim Holney saw this industry before it was even an industry. And he and his wife, Kim, have created the most amazing company that gives customers a better customer experience because they use virtualpreneurs. So I'm going to tee up Working Solutions, and then you'll get to hear from Tim Holney himself.